Welcome back, everybody. We're here with OSAS Season 9. 9 entire seasons of the most popular tournament series in Omega Strikers. Week 1. It's a new OSAS. There's some new teams. And I'm here with P-Flare. Hello.
Hello, how y'all doing? Once more again, we are back. So, right now, what we have lined up for you is Cutie Patooties and Seraphim Oxblood. Now, we've seen definitely Cutie Patooties before, and I'm going to place my chips with them. But what are you thinking?
Yeah, like you said, both these teams pretty familiar. We've seen them before, and Cutie Patooties do catch my eye a little more, but maybe for all the wrong reasons. Not that they're bad, it's just that the reason why I'm hyped about this team is Ultra Dre, and the reason why I'm hyped about Ultra Dre is because of a different game than Omega Strikers. It's actually Byte Breakers, where that guy was a legend on the Luna. Everyone thought Luna was a low tier, and that guy just like touched it to a bunch of people and got like 4th place or 3rd place or something in the tournament with almost 100 people featuring Multiversus Pros and all that. Like, it was crazy. But
No, yeah.
no, you go.
No, I was saying, like, I was just saying that I agree, because I was also a big fan of Luna in that game, as I was like, I don't think she's low tier. I'm serious. I don't think she's low tier. And to see somebody actually bringing it up and, you know, just managing to bring it to the top like that, fantastic.
Yeah, unfortunately, I did mention in the chat, and Ultra Dre said, not touching that gremlin in this game, so we will not be seeing Luna from Ultra Dre and Omega Strikers. Well, we will be heading into game very shortly. It'll be a pretty good one, I think. We're heading on to Night Market, a bit of a classic map, and we'll see how they do.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Night Market is always one of those maps where it seems like that, yeah, you can have a game plan going in, but Night Market don't like to play by nobody's rules but Night Market. You know what I'm saying? Like, we call it like Night Market angles for a reason. Sometimes, a lot of the time, a lot more often than one might expect, you can just go for what you think is like a clean shot, a clean bounce, and it just decides not to go in the direction you want. So they're definitely going to have to keep that in mind and just make sure they play clean.
Yeah, the Night Market bounce, like you mentioned, a constant threat here. Looking at the compositions, Juliet, we saw it on NXED, on EKC, in the qualifiers, and also generally in the North American Strikers League. Juliet is still a menace, and especially a Night Market where the lanes are tightened up, that will be a big factor here. Along with the Drakkar, a bit of an offensively minded midfielder. Not the greatest at core control, but that guy can put on the damage.
Yeah, we're definitely kind of seeing the core idea of their game plan coming out. Like you said, Juliet can just easily 1-2 somebody almost out of nowhere, especially on a cramped map, kind of like Night Market. Absolutely. So gonna have to keep that in mind. And yeah, if Atlas goes for the Drakkar, it's pretty clear what their game plan is going to be. And on the other side, we can see the X-Dubu coming out, which is always scary. So what's this last one going to be? That's the question here.
Yeah. Oh, I was actually considering a little bit of the era because Zalales was considering denying it by taking it away. But instead, it is a Juno, and I do recall Juno being pouted by Duckitos in the past. That's a guy that's been around the community for quite a while. We'll have to see how it goes here. The core speed on Juno combined with Night Market could lead to some crazy situations.
No, you're absolutely right. And yeah, like that's kind of like what I was kind of inferring earlier. Doggitos just put on a clinic last time I recall seeing them. So definitely going to be one of the ones to look for. Already got a quick barrier. So definitely, yeah, it's going to be, I think, one of those Fast and Furious games. That's what I'm feeling.
Yeah, the Drakkar and Juliet, not the most mobile characters, but if they can get into position, they can collapse quite well onto the Night Market barriers. And we see right there, 2 barriers already down. Torin in a bit of trouble as Doggitos just goes for the dribbles. The Molten Bolt, the Missile Prop, Tofu Fortress. That's a starting awakening that's going to help the Dubu and the Atlas quite a bit in their defense. But as Zalales goes for the dribble, so much room to play with. A good roll but the dash punch will get it done. Seraphim Moxblood get the first goal.
Very nice combination from those two, making sure that the Dubu was just stunned and had nothing to do. The core was easily able to feed the core past him. And I'm honestly going to be looking a little bit more like out of Drekar for that kind of situation. I feel like, again, like on a night market map, Drekar may not be the most popular pick, no, but I think he can be effective on this one.
Yeah, a lot of bounces in the center terrain. Give the core into the hands of Knight, who's in a bit of trouble. Flipped too close to the wall. Not many angles available to the Julie. And now the X Maximus is popped. Ultra Dre looking to do a little bit of brawling, looking to do a bit of dribbling, and will earn the top barrier. Well maneuvered as Dargitos just controls the core for a moment. But not so much damage, like we mentioned, right? The Drakkar and the Juliet working together, and Ultra Dre is staggered.
Ultra Dre is dead. But yeah, that's kind of like what we were talking about. That's their whole game plan, is to try and set things up so that they basically are near unopposed when getting to the goal line, whether someone's actually in the goal or not. So, and we're kind of seeing that game plan trying to be executed, and they're gonna have to make sure that they can keep on that, because otherwise, ouch, that might happen.
Yeah, you said otherwise, and that was a premonition for the future. The goalie goes down, Bellringered into the net, and that's a quick goal for Cutie Patooties, especially in overtime, right? Combined with the prize fighter, that Juno's a bit of a menace in the core speed.
Yeah, to basically elaborate on what I was going to say with that otherwise, is that Ultra Dre X Night Market, horrible combination for anyone on the other side of that. X can just clear out a stagger bar in no time at all. So what I was saying is they have to kind of like keep this offense up and basically do not let Ultra Dre get started with those stacks, with those prize fighter stacks. And yeah, they can do it by making sure they keep the goalie staggered and just basically have free shots into the net. So yeah.
Yeah, they're doing very well getting around Torin so far. They'll have to do a little more here, but Ultra Dre sends it forward. They're trying to get some Juno core control in, but the map is pretty split. Not too much mobility either on Ultra Dre, so it's going to be hard to keep up with the core when it's sent around the map. Now trying to find a dribble play to the top side, and the barrier will be found. A bit of a misclear, unfortunately, from too soon. But Knight is in position to try and take this last barrier. Lalale's pushing up as well, but Ultra Dre trying to find the strike war. The X Maximus not quite gonna reach it. And as the Guido sends it below, and once again, both teams holding on the defense.
Yeah, it's a very big back and forth, and what I'm noticing a lot of is, like you said, X not the most mobile person, especially if the core is going all hither thither. So you can kind of see Ultra Dre hanging out in the backfield, forward, trying to basically constantly be a threat for a forward pass so he can get it to the barrier. Strange stop there. You see, he kind of just froze. But yeah, that's kind of what seems to be their whole game plan. Whereas you have the Drakkar, you have Lalisa and Knight just constantly harassing the goalie, and that's going to be that's going to be a battle of just who can execute better. It sounds simple, but very hard to do in practice.
Yeah, unfortunately, both goalies do let the barrier go down. Offensive tries on both sides, hitting it forward. Ultra Dre in position with the flip. Goes for the bell ringer, but that's a little bit unsafe. That's not the play you want to go for on the scoring attempt. Knight stuffs it away. Ultra Dre, though, trying to push in again. Expands burn from too soon. Does keep it away for the moment. The Molten Bolt going to stop the core, and that Lace runs to the bottom side. Finds the goal, finds the set. Seraphim Moxblood up 1-0.
Yep, okay. So, honestly, good start for them so far, Foxblood, and I have to say, just from what I've noticed, very different approaches when it comes to aggression on either side. Lilas and Knight, very, very consistent aggression, like we were saying, constantly making sure they're in the goalie's face. Whereas with Cuties, it was basically try and feed the rock to Ultra Dre and see if they can make a play. I'm not sure if that's kind of the best thing for him at this moment. Especially, I mean, you've got Juno right there. Juno can be as aggressive as anybody.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. The moments where Ultra Dre was scoring, it did look good, right? Got the X Maximus strike reset and all of that. But in this set, it'll be a lot harder. Extra special, very good on Torin though. Ultra Dre and Doggitos also picking up decent awakenings. Additional dash range on Doggitos will do like you mentioned. The scoring power of the Juno is now activated, but Doggitos seems to be more of a pure midfielder, using it a lot on the defense instead. But look at the damage. Ultra Dre is dying as we speak.
Yeah, very, very rough start for Ultra J, but they do get a barrier. Although that's traded. Oh, and he goes down. That was very quick, very brutal, and now they have a power play. Oxblood needs to really make sure they can just take advantage of this. Got that flurry, got the flame punch. Oh my god, Dre goes down, and the core goes in. Beautiful offense, relentless by Knight.
Yeah, just made sure that the resets were coming in, made sure that the stacks were stacking up, and made sure Torin was seeing the back of the net there. Knight is definitely the player to watch on the side of Seraphim Moxblood, making the plays, but so is Lalalace, just keeping the core up. But look at Ultra Dre trying to go for 2 barriers, but unfortunately we only get just 1 as the Expanse comes out to deny the second attempt.
Yeah, it was kind of like you said earlier. Doggytoe was trying to play very good midfield. Knight, though, shutting that down very fast. Gets a barrier. Let's make sure the second barrier goes down. Knight in good scoring position. Flurry! Goal! Nice!
Well played yet again from Seraphim Moxblood. Yeah, you were going to mention it a little bit before you were interrupted by Knight. Doggitos is playing a lot of midfield, and although that is good, right, the midfielder midfielding, that guy just needs to play a little bit more offense maybe, because Juno does have that capability, and right now hanging out in the midfield means you're a target for Knight.
Yeah, no, this Knight train going, and it ain't stopping. It's not stopping. Beautiful feed, beautiful goal. Oh, they are. Oxblood is firing on all cylinders. This is getting out of hand really, really fast. And Cutie Patooties really need to find something. They need to shake it off. They need to find some way to shake back. Their game plan right now is not working. Like Doggytoe's a little bit too timid in my opinion. Like we were saying, needs to go for a little bit more on the offense. Can't leave it all up to Dre. Dre is trying their hardest, but Slime's trying to back him. Ain't gonna help as much. And especially you got Julie right now going for 1-2 punch, and you got Fight or Flight on Dragon. I mean, okay, sure, you got your Unstoppable, you got your Big Fish on X, always good. Prime Time, good. But with the offense that Oxblood is showing, this could get out of control really fast. They have to switch it up, and they have to switch it up now.
I think it's already gone out of hand. I think Oxblood are in such a strong position to win this game. Like you mentioned, the 1-2 punch and the Fight or Flight are amazing pickups, but they also have an insurance policy too. Too Soon has, okay, well, Too Soon is dead, but when Too Soon comes back, they do have 2 sparks, and those were single sparks in the draft, so 3 sparks is inevitable, 4 sparks, the mayor is a possibility. Even if Seraphim Moxblood start losing here, they have stuff to fall back on in the draft. They're in a really good spot, but Ultra Dre made the play happen, so maybe Cutie Patooties can find a way back.
Yeah, no, it's definitely possible, but it's a long road, and right now Oxblood has game to give up. Like you said, if they want to go for that Spark Exodia, 100%, they can just kind of like fish for it, hopefully. And right now, oh, just shotgun to the face, Lollywoods. Okay, sure. If they want to do that, they can do that. That's the kind of position they're in. Just rock it. But hey, still have a barrier. Never mind. Commentator's curse. Knight in position. Knight pushes it through. Knight just says, yeah, let's just wrap this up real fast. Punch to the face. Puck in the goal. This is getting bloody. Oh.
Yeah, Seraphim Moxblood didn't hesitate, right? Okay, maybe they hesitated a little bit on the draft. They were considering taking the Era. But in general, they have a clear game plan and they're executing on it. They got the core tonight, but right now, Doggitos and Ultra Dre have managed to take the barriers. Maybe a bit of an opportunity, but the shotgun will say no. Lalalace Knight to the bottom side, saved away by Torin for the moment, but Knight has the flip available in the center of the field. The bounce to the top side, unfortunately, does not find its way into the goal, but they'll have another opportunity pretty soon. The Slime's trying to get the Ultra Dre, but deflected away by Knight, who is fishing to the top corner. The log is good, but the flip is better from Too Soon. sending it away from Ultra Dre yet again. Too soon, almost a little too late. A panic strike, but it's at the right angle. And Ultra Dre is still looking for a chance, but they're just not giving Ultra Dre a chance. Okay, maybe... No, they're still not giving Ultra Dre a chance.
But that might be the break they need if they can press this offense. Oh my God! Just shot from downtown. Half court just gets past Torin. Not what they want. Not what they need. Oh no.
Yeah.
And this is it. Yeah.
Exactly when you thought they had a chance. Exactly when Too Soon went down to Ultra Dre. Loudlace is just so clutch from the entire other side of the map. The overtime core speed, the hot shot, molten bullet, everything coming through for the moment. And Seraphim Moxblood 1 goal away from moving on.
Yeah, it's pretty much almost all over from the crying at this point now. No offense. No offense to Cutie Patooties. Like, we know what they're capable of. And hey, core's still in play. It's not over till it's over. But this is last stand moment. They need to push. They need to press. They need to find some way past this incredible defense that Too Soon that Lioneless is putting up. They got Slime, sure, but they got the Tofu Fortress, but they need to push up. They can't just rely on Ultra Dre, and especially now because he's dead. So it's all or nothing. No, Flip countered.
Oh, did he get the roll to try and send it away from Knight, but Knight is getting the core Too Soon, feeding it forward, and Knight stays alive. The healing is enough, and Loudlace crosses up Dogito, sends it to the top corner, and Seraphim Moxblood finish the job. They get it done, and they move on.
Woo! That was kind of a clinic, to be frank. Everybody on that team executed their roles to almost perfection. Like, Julie was knocking him out when they needed to knock him out. Julie was also, like, Knight was scoring when they needed to scoring. I mean, it was almost, like I said, it was almost clinical. A lot of this was right there in the clutch saying, I can score, I can make sure you have clear shots, I can set you up. Too Soon was making sure not a whole lot was getting past. There was only a couple times where Ultra Dre actually got like the clear one-on-one that, you know, they were very much fishing for, because otherwise, like, Lawless was right there kind of like backing up Too Soon and just making sure that Ultra Dre didn't really get the fights they want, couldn't really pick the fights they want. Doggy Toast was not able to get the offense, was not, you know, never really shifted into second gear in my opinion. And that just combined to make just a real rough situation for him. So, and now you see the results.
Yeah, incredibly well played by Seraphim Moxblood. I think in previous seasons there were a lot of question marks around Seraphim Moxblood because they were not performing up to expectations, but this might be their season because that game was brilliant from them. Too Soon did randomly die like 3 times, but I think it speaks more that the team got it done despite Too Soon going down. So looking forward to this team succeeding later in the season, but we're going to head to a bit of a break. Next game should be getting ready pretty soon. Don't go anywhere, and we'll see you then.
Yep, only getting started.
Welcome back, everybody. No more web fishing for the moment. We're here for another game. We're seeing some familiar faces on both teams, actually, but only one of these teams has a familiar name. It's Seraphim Crimson back at it again versus Yes, I Love Dubu.
Yep, like you said, very familiar. We all know about how Master Malachi can operate, how Kyrie can operate. I think, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing if Seraphim Crimson can basically kind of do a repeat or redux of what we just saw with Seraphim Oxblood. I'm looking forward to seeing that. But what's the deal with Yes, I Love Dubu? Strange name, but familiar faces.
Yeah, Meowsy, definitely a player that we've seen quite a bit. Junk Dogma and Agnes, not as much. On the other hand, Malachi, Kurikin, and the Tefunk. 3 players that we have seen time and time again. We'll see how it goes. Meowsy has left the lobby. Yeah, we'll see. I do expect Seraphim Crimson to be playing one of the usual suspects in the gold box. Wait, no. This is a bit of a different Seraphim Crimson, right? Yugo is gone. Kurikin is in.
Yeah, you're right, actually. So that may be enough of a change to cause some confusion on the part of the Dubu team if they've been, trying to do their homework. That's one of the things about, being a long-standing team in this series. You always have to keep in mind that there's a lot of data on you, and these new teams, like, yeah, we know Meowsy, but if anybody else is coming in and trying to make a name for themselves, they're going to be doing their homework on you.
Yeah, definitely correct here. We'll see how it goes. We're going to see a pretty interesting matchup here on the Taiko Temple, a map that's... Wait a second, they forgot to set the map.
I was about to say, Taiko Temple? I'm seeing Night Market.
Yeah, but it is Taiko Temple when they do set that up. It's a map that has seen a lot of favor in OSAS. It's a bit of a crazy map. It's a bit of a volatile map. Anything can happen, really, in terms of outcome. And I'm kind of surprised that, I think in the past I've said this too, I'm surprised that Seraphim Crimson wants to go to Taiko. It's... in the past, I didn't really think it fit their playstyle, but maybe with Kurikin in, things will be very different.
Yeah, I'm recalling how Crimson plays. I can agree with that, because like you said, Taiko Temple, although I wouldn't have used a bit, I would have just said it's volatile straight out, because the way that core can go flying out of almost nowhere, I want to say it's only appreciated when you can actually score off of it. At all other times, it tends to cause a bit of frustration. This is one of those maps like that by themselves can test your mental game, can test your mental resilience. Like there's this map, I would say, I would say like the labs, the shifting map as well is one of those that can test your mental. But yeah, Taiko Temple, you gotta stay calm and be prepared to react to some very quick, very sudden redirections of the core.
Yep, and we're sure to see that here with the Rune Hover from Junk Dogma. Juno as well. Well, this is a lot of core speed on the side of Yes, I Love Dubu. The creations come in full force, but it's the Mako that's hovered instead. A pretty stable goalie here, being the first pick potentially. Trying to take away that goalie pick from the side of Seraphim Crimson as well. And Juno, just a very solid pick. They're banning away the Asher. Okay, they're really going in on this draft. They do not want a single, I guess, comfort pick on Seraphim Crimson side. I think Tefunk will probably be playing the Drakkar, if I had to guess, and there it is. And Dubu, of course, a reliable melee goalie. But I'm wondering what's going to come in the brawler position.
Yeah, like you said, I can see a lot of core control in general, but who's going to be damaged? Meowsy goes for the Kazan. All right, yep, that's honestly pretty solid. No, goes for the Juliet instead. Okay, yeah, well, hey, if you want damage, Juliet's for it. And rounding out Crimson is a Kai.
Yeah, they're picking kind of double midfieldy, but of course Drakkar does brawl a little bit as well. So It's not the kind of like stuffing composition that you usually see.
Nope.
Especially with Asher Band, but I think Seraphim Crimson have a lot of mobility, and on this crazy spark of agility start, it's going to have to be wacky. And forget about everything we said. It's Dubu forward. Kurikan is getting in there. Holy moly.
Yeah, okay, sure. If they want to play Dubu forward, then, you know, that's... Honestly, I feel like Dubu forward is kind of feast or famine. You know what I mean? It's you're either good at Dubu and he just controls all the space in front of the goal, or the Dubu is constantly out of position and can't really do anything for you. So definitely need to see how this turns out, especially, you know, being backed by Jakar. We saw how good Jakar can be at redirects, so that might be a good thing. But then again, hey, you can also just get killed, and that won't help anybody. So.
Yeah, and of all the maps to play Dubu Forward on, this is one of the more viable ones. Dubu Forward has been piloted in the highest levels of competitive play here, even backed by Atlas midfield at times. If you remember the Sad Boys composition that really took over Taiko Temple for a while, Kurikan's going to have to recapture some of that magic here to find these scoring plays, because the damage is coming in, and this Dubu is a massive target looking for a strike war, but completely staggered. Needs to be so careful against Meowsy, but the core speed is also coming in overtime.
Yeah, most definitely. And Master Malachi, I was about to say Master Malachi had been doing a great job keeping that one barrier safe, but then it just got taken. So, hey, preemptive commentator's curse. And weird bounce, weird attempt at clear, and I think Kurikan went in for the stun and just made sure that bounce was kind of fatal to him.
Yeah, it bounced off the edge of the drum right back at him. Junk Dogma, not exactly what you want to see there. And Kurikan capitalizes a brilliant roll. That's what you want to see, but Kurikan's just getting shredded right now, flipped off the map. That's how you deal with the Dubu forward.
And it's like I was saying, like Juno can absolutely deal damage. Like trying to clear those slimes out hurts, especially when there's a bunch of them on the field when she decides to make it rain. So now we've got both barriers down, and now they have to try and make sure that they can finish the job, which they do. Meowsy just punches it in. Nothing else they can do about that one. And hey, tied up.
Yeah, meterless Master Malachi could not evade strike that one, unfortunately. But we saw the bright sides of both compositions, the chip damage and the goal securing from Yes I Love Dubu, and of course the power of Dubu from Seraphim Crimson. Kurikan getting in there yet again. Needs to be careful though to not take too much excess damage, as the Mako does some damage as well. Well played on Meowsy's end to find the follow-up onto the barrier as Malachi sends it forward off the drum, trying to find a bounce. They're really just rotating here. Tefonk is playing this midfield, sometimes goalie, letting Malachi just rush up, and that's really unlocking the power of the Kai.
Wow, and just as you say that, Meowsy goes down, and we've got a power play going on for the side of Seraphim Crimson. They got a barrier, flip in the face, 50-50, gets it past. Beautiful shot. Beautiful in taking advantage of that power play. Yeah, like I said, that's Dubu forward for you. Sometimes he is just a wall, and you can't knock the wall down.
Yeah, and then Kurikan, this is only a fraction of their power, but that's a really, really bad flip and a really bad wait by Tefonk. Completely vulnerable, but wait a second. Who cares that Tefonk is down? Kurikan's going in. 2 barriers already down in the power play for the other team. And even if a barrier goes down, even if 2 barriers go down, they're still looking quite good here. All they need is 1 good shot.
Yeah, very, very heads up playing, honestly, by Kurikan, realizing where the core was going, and basically not being rattled by the fact that they had just got someone taken out. They were like, hey, core's still in position, I can still make a play, and hey, I can also still score. Doesn't matter if my stagger is low. Doesn't matter if my stagger is gone. I am still on the field, I can still score, still a threat. Beautiful shot, they take the set.
Yeah, and now Kurikan gets the pick of the litter here. That spark scaling probably going to come through here, but there are plenty of other good awakenings. Catalyst and Stacks on Stacks too that I have my eyes on. Catalyst actually to pick up here. Oh, because Spark was not taken by Agnes, which was a bit of a mistake, I think. Monumentalist is good on Juno, but Spark is so important for a Spark start in terms of drafting, and that just let Seraphim Crimson play that draft so flexibly.
Yeah, you're right. Took Monumentalist Agnes, and yeah, that kind of changes the flow of things already. Like, I can see kind of why they took Monumentals, but I also have to agree that just getting a free spark, that's, I won't say that's a no-brainer, but it's a pretty common brainer.
Yeah, pretty important in the draft dynamic in terms of denying sparks, in terms of not letting your opponents pass down sparks to other members of the team while they pick up awakenings like Catalyst. Seraphim Crimson, good draft there. Amazing Tofu Fortress from Kurikan. Completely secures the barrier. And they have an open net, and Seraphim Crimson are looking so good right now.
Yeah, very nice passing, very nice setups. However, it's very clear that Yes We Love Dubu is not, well, excuse me, I was about to say they're not quite out of it, but then Kurikan just kind of like bats it in. So, hey, little showing off there. They know what they did.
Absolutely. And with how the game is being played so far, Kurikan finding themselves in position so often. 2 barriers flip in front of the net. Fantastic 2 barriers into the goal.
How fast was that? That was 7 points? I mean, 7 seconds?
That felt like 7 points. That felt like it deserved 7 points for how well Kurikan played that interaction with Catalyst. That Dubu's going to have flip again in just a second.
Yeah, that ain't going to take too long. And right, but that also means that, you know, like, we got the Love Dubu. They've got to shake back right now. And honestly, good start. Both barriers down, but they need to find a way to keep up the pressure. Do not let Kurikan get in place. Look at that Tofu Fortress. Manages to save the barrier. Honestly, very impressive there. And they tried to feed it back to Agnes. Couldn't quite get it. This is a really nice back and forth point, but also very dangerous.
You can tell that Kurikan's very experienced, and they bait out the flip as well with the back pass. Meowsy to the top corner, but it misses, and a good flip defensively. If Kurikan can stay alive here, this flip could be devastating. This flip could be the goal. But right now, the objective is to survive. Malachi in a bad spot and chooses to barrage instead of contesting the core. Rare defensive miss from Malachi, who's been stellar so far in this game. So, still well played in general.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised they didn't try to challenge that. Like, they went, like you said, they went for the barrage. I'm not sure about that one. Oh, but that wasn't good either. Missed flip from Junk Dogma, and there goes all that energy. So, got to work to get that back. But hey, good offense right now, which was kind of missing from them a little bit earlier. They've got both barriers in a pretty solid position. They were in a pretty solid position. Still are. Wait, I think something happened.
That was a little goofy, and
Yeah.
They all pushed up, I think, and
Yeah.
and they kind of left the goal wide open, and now we're at 2-2.
Yeah, I thought somebody had disconnected for a while because I was like, wait, why does everybody standing up on center and why everybody just standing still? I think it might have just been a standing in disbelief kind of thing as that little scrum goes on, and they trying to make sure, and they're still trying to press, which is good. They've definitely turned up the aggression. We love Dubu. And, you know, even though they lost, like right there, even though they lost someone, they're still trying to push. And that's what you kind of need to do. You can't let those kind of like impacts shake you.
Log goes in, Kurikan takes another barrier, and if Kurikan can survive here, that could be great. Denied the orb, but one flip's all it takes right now. One passing play, the Tofu Fortress completely creates a lane for Tafonk to shotgun it in. Kurikan again setting up the goal.
Yeah, like we kind of talked about it at the beginning. This forward Dubu, feast or famine, and they are feasting right now, especially on these awakenings.
Yeah, another spark coming in. 2 sparks on Tafonk, getting a lot, really bulky here. You would have liked it on the Dubu, but you'll take what you can get. Stagger Swagger, gonna put in a lot of work. Egoist, of course, denied away by Meowsy, but it is but one good awakening in a sea of Fight or Flight, Stagger Swagger, Spark of Brazilian, second spark. I think Seraphim Crimson are in position to take this one. It'll take a lot from Yes I Love Dubu to bring this one back.
Yeah, they've got the momentum all on their side. They are rocking and rolling, and right now it's gonna be hard for I Love Dubu to be able to like shake back. They're gonna have to make a lot of risky plays. They're gonna have to gamble a lot. Like honestly, like right there, like Meowsy kind of gambled with their life, and they got the barriers for it. It's a question if they'll actually get the score for it, but they're gonna have to kind of like do more of that to stop this freight train that is Seraphim Crimson.
Oh, they gotta be careful though. Meowsie's in position. Meowsie's sent to the top side, and again, Seraphim Crimson. It's like the point where they were all on the other side of the field. They were all there, but they kind of miscommunicate. They miscoordinate, and Yeselev Dubu secures the goal. And Yeselev Dubu has found quite a few goals. Seraphim Crimson has been the ones more consistent. We'll see if they can continue being consistent here.
Absolutely, like that's really the key. Like nothing to take away from, you know, like I Love Dubu's play in general, but Seraphim Crimson has just been very consistent with their abilities. But I have been noticing something from Seraphim Crimson that's a bit of a negative, and I've noticed that there's been more than a couple, like we said earlier, defensive miscommunications and just kind of like defensive breakdowns. And if there's any path to like coming back from this deficit, I think that's it. Basically, make Seraphim Crimson, not to get like too recent, make Seraphim Crimson pull a Yankees and just self-destruct themselves.
That's real. Yeah, it really comes down to the defensive misplay. Seraphim Crimson has looked pretty solid on the offense. You could even say that they have a 5-0 lead right now. But can they secure it is the question. So far, Kurikan's still converting. They're still getting those runs in, but it could all fall apart in an instant.
Yeah, and like right now, if that was the goal, then I Love Dubu cannot let off the gas. It is extremely detrimental to their health. Oh, nice double. Nearly gets the goal right then and there. They have to push back right now. And hey, they get one barrier. They have to find a way to keep this coverage, keep the core from going out from one of them. And that's not gonna help. Oh, that's not gonna help. Meowsy go down again. Right now, beautiful Tofu Fortress, but Agnes, nice pass, gets the second barrier, and this is just very hellacious.
Malachi, tries to barrage it forwards, but Agnes slips it right past. Well played, a heads-up play. They take out the goalie with the Giga Blast, but again, Seraphim Crimson not quite coordinated on the defense here. They flew a little too close to the sun. And now the sun's burning them a bit. That's a hot shot on the board.
That is hot shot. That is spark to focus. I'm seeing team player, timeless creator, a lot of dangerous stuff for I Love Dubu, and this could be what they need to get back into the game.
I will say though, that's triple spark onto Fonk. That's a lot of cooldowns, a lot of speed, and a lot of stagger onto Drakkar. That guy will be all over the map and effectively immortal unless a good dash punch finds their face. Team player though, team player and the hot shot. That is a scary core speed combo. Yeselev Dubu have the capabilities to sneak this goal in.
Yeah, 100%. So it's honestly not over for either team. I feel like not now. But like you said, Tefong basically working on getting all the parts of Spark Exodia, as like I call it. Got 3. If they get 4, that is a horrifying like army lizard thing.
Yeah. Thankfully for Yeselev Dubu, the 4th one has already been taken. So capped at 3, but it's still an incredible amount of stats. Meowsy going for the play again. Jump up from Agnes. Giga blasted away for the moment as Kurikan trying to get in there, but it's so difficult. And Meowsy once again, Malachi and Tefong pushing up too much, kind of stacked on top of each other. We're starting to see the defense fall apart a little bit for Seraphim Crimson.
Yeah, it's just... Sure, Crimson can get an offense going. Right now, it's basically kind of like a slugfest. Whoever gets the offense going first almost seems to be the one who's going to, like, get the goal here. And, like, again, I'm not saying it's just, like, repeat a joke, but, yeah, it's kind of like Yankee situation. Like, the goal right now for I Love Dubu is get the ball, get the puck, get the core, and just kind of, like, let Seraphim Crimson self-destruct on defense. And if they can pull that off, they've got a good they've got a good path. But they have to like avoid this offense from them. And right now,
they're really trying to do it right here. Meowsy almost at the egoist flip. That's a barrier down. That's the core speed coming in. Meowsy doesn't quite get it this time, but will have another chance thanks to the ult there. Trying to go for a flip shot to the top side to Fonk. Doesn't quite cover it. And again, the defense from Seraphim Crimson a little bit lacking. Yeselev Dubu. They're losing their barriers pretty quickly. The first barrier has gone down almost every time to Kurikan, it feels like. But Seraphim Crimson are just not holding long enough.
Yeah, it's kind of like surprising and just shocking to see. Like the same thing is happening almost every point. Like, yeah, they get a good offense going, and then I Love Dubu manages to kind of like get a break and Seraphim Crimson's defense just kind of falls apart. Incredible hold by Junk Dogma, somehow manages to navigate that labyrinth and keeps the barriers up. They're like, one for all that resources? Sure, we'll take that trade.
Yeah, they even get the Dubu as a bit of a bonus, and so much damage being put on by Meowsy, so much energy generation as well as they try to keep the offense up here. Meowsy, though, pretty low. If they can get some damage, that could be huge, but the hotshot Juno is coming into play. So much core speed topside. This is their moment. If they can hold on here, I think Seraphim Crimson has a good chance back in the set, but there's always a chance that a stray core could mean that the goal goes in. They got to be so careful on the defense here.
Yeah, amazing defense again, like by Junk Dogma, if you want to speak about that, and Commentator's Curse. But they had been holding on incredibly well until then. Good shot by Tefunk, manages to interrupt the clear attempt and just fires it in. Like, yeah, they needed that one. They really needed that one because they had like, I feel like, maybe not several unanswered, but it was looking very dangerous for them. But they need to keep that up, and that's not, yeah, like quick barrier taken. They need to improve that defense really fast, and that's not helping.
Trying to find another play here. Meowsy bottom side, open net. Really tough situation for Seraphim Crimson. They get it out of the corner, and Kurikan looks for the goal, but Meowsy gets it in possession yet again. Gets passenger car to Fonk in a lot of trouble, but they manage to save it. It's still tough, though, because the cooldowns are coming back for Yeslev's Dubu's offense. They could have some slimes, they could have some core speed. Gotta be so careful, and they get it away from the Tobu Fortress of Kurikan as well, who is pushing up, but the core is getting away from them at the moment. Tefong trying to send it away from Meowsy, but Meowsy will force it through. We're heading to a set 5.
That has so far been an incredible comeback, and I have to ask, have you seen like the setups that Wheel of Dubu has been able to pull off? Like, Julie has been made sure Julie has been making some great passes, as well as making sure that Juno's slimes are in great position. Like, Meowsy has just been on point with positioning. Agnes has been all over the map, and that's been rewarding them really well. Just that cohesion, I have to say.
Yeah, and this draft is a little scary because everyone's getting something pretty good here. That 1-2 punch on Maokai is going to be very useful in the overtimes because the second strike on the core is going to be very, very quick. But my eyes are just on that Chrono Boost on Junk Dogma, speeding the entire team up, and the rapid fire on Agnes. The slimes are going to be coming out even more often. It's such a scary proposition.
Yeah, those slimes are going to be getting slung real fast, and with how Agnes has been using them to kind of self-pass, very scary, very scary. And not to mention, like, Meowsy's, like, knife edge, that is what's about to happen. And I'm about to say, there's about to be a lot more KOs coming out, and just a very scary situation. Again, self-passing, Agnes trying to go for that barrier, gets the barrier, self-passes again, trying to get it up to Meowsy, not quite able to get it. Very incredible game plan coming out here from both sides right now. Both their cores are open, and right now, yeah, it seems like Dubu is threatening. I would say Dubu is the bigger threat right now, and right now Kurikan has to try and like force things through, or else this is it right here.
Yeah, has a flip, but walks a little bit too far away, goes for the top corner shot, but Dogma is there to stop it. They're trying to barrage it through the slimes for the moment. Kurikan barely stays alive, trying to find a shot to the top side now, as Tefunk is there with the Molten Bolt, the shotgun flipped away from, and Maokai again vulnerable to the core speed on the other side of the map. Dubu now in the lead for the first time this game.
Agnes just flips Ricochet off the side, cross-country score. Maokai, all their assets burned, just has to kind of like look at it go in. And that's been the story of this match. That's been the story this whole game. Just, they can't do anything when they're not on offense. They just punches the living daylights out of. Oh, this is getting very, very wacky, very, I want to say very fast, but not really. This is kind of like been building up the whole game. Just very good team synergy, very good synergy between Meowsy and Agnes, and they are kind of just playing lights out right now. Beautiful. Oh, almost gets that pass up front. Oh, can't quite save that barrier though. Ooh, this is what they need right now. Tries to 50-50, does not get it. Two people in the net. Wanted to make sure they did not get that momentum loss. Kind of a stalemate, kind of everybody stare down right now. I'm feeling like people aren't quite sure what to do. Everybody's trying to make so many like major desperate plays, major moves. It's like, okay, you go first. No, you go first. No, you go first. And look at that right there.
Kirkin goes in. Oh, and the double hit on the Tofu Fortress finds the goal and the KO. Exactly what they needed. Seraphim Crimson were almost out of it. They're about to go down 0-2, but Kirkin finds the clutch.
Yeah, you want to know what that was? That was that missile propulsion on Kirkin. Like, that's one of those awakenings for Dubu that you at first think about it and it doesn't quite make sense. And then you see him launch that Dubu Fortress from halfway across the map and it's like, a light clicks on you, it's like, oh, now I get it. But that still may not help right now. They are down a goal. Beautiful jump!
You're so right about the analogy because the defense for Seraphim Crimson has been a bit of a sore spot. They have been giving up goals, unforced errors, and now they're staring down match point. Yeslev Dubu 1 point away from moving on here.
Yeah, I would almost call this a bit of an upset. Kill by Meowsy, beautiful! And Agnes just making sure. Oh, Meowsy tries to take down Malachi, tried to seal the deal. Almost a 50-50 situation, but managed to clear Malachi. Deep Dubu is just such a threat right now, very scary. But hey, both sides open. If there's a chance to get him back, now is it. Now is all they have. They cannot. Yeah.
They gotta be so careful here because Meowsy, one chance, like you said, and Meowsy will score. Kirkin trying to go for the strikes, but not quite yet. But Agnes has the cooldowns back. They gotta watch out for the core speed. Tefon contains it for the moment. Kirkin has the flip available. Has the flip chance now. That's a lot of cooldowns burned from Junk Dogma, but that's a KO found by Meowsy. Kirkin needs to be the hero before Malachi. It cannot hold longer in this open net. It's such a tough spot. They might need to defensively flip, and that's exactly what Kirkin does, but that's the resource gone. Tofu Fortress to kill the Juliet. That could turn this entire game around as Kirkin sends to the bottom side. A snipe attempted by Tefong. Pass up to the top side. A flip by Junk Dogma, and I mean, that's how it ends. Again, I mean, wow.
Okay. Story of this game, and I'm gonna be real here, like keeping it 100. Dubu did not win that game. Seraphim Crimson beat themselves. The defense was not there. The defense was absent. They were out to lunch this game. I don't know why, because Malachi is normally really good in the net. That's why I'm kind of like so. That's why my voice is like this, because I'm like, Malachi is usually really good in the net, but why wasn't it there this match? Tell me something. Tell me why. Give me your reason.
Yeah, that was a little wacky, but it's also the fact that Kai is a pretty difficult goalie on Taiko, right? It's kind of hard to play that goalie on Taiko, so it's a bit understandable. Seraphim Crimson, so close to greatness. They were so close to finishing it off, but Yeslev Dubu resilient today managed to hold on here.
Yeah, for real. Meowsy, look at they played so well. They got 6 KOs, 7 goals. They were on the front line, like, and just dealing out all sorts of damage. Really, like Meowsy did not technically deliver the most damage, but when they hit, it hurt, and sometimes that's more important than raw numbers.
Yeah, very short break because the next match is already ready. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in like 2 minutes.
Right on.
We're already back. That wasn't even 2 minutes. And we are right on to our next match. It is Chikara Girls versus Seraphim Oxblood for the qualifier spot.
Yeah, this one, we saw Seraphim Oxblood basically deliver an amazing showing in their most recent match. We need to see if they can keep this momentum. Chikara Girls, certainly no slouches. You've seen them before. You're going to see them again. Right now, we got the bands coming out. No Asher, no Dubu. Doesn't really matter too much. We all know Shadow loves his brawlers, loves his beat down. We've got Juno on deck. We've got Mako in the goal. That's honestly like a lot of pain coming out very fast. Some good coverage right there, especially if we're going to Atlas Lab.
Yeah, and Juno again, especially in OSAS, right? Juno is a bit of an overtime insurance policy, a bit of a late game insurance policy. That's something you need to be aware of heading into the late game, or even just a hot shot. So we'll see how it goes here. The other team pretty well rounded, Zentaro and Estelle, a composition we've seen quite a few times. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and what I'm noticing is here, a lot of fight or flight already on deck. Amazing. The only person not taking that too soon took Timeless. So definitely going to be a lot of speed coming out here.
Yeah, a lot of speed. You got to be careful of that immobility of the Atlas as well. Too soon, if you get hit around, then the goal might go in too soon. As two barriers are already down, bit of a scary open net situation, but if Knight and Loudlace can take these barriers like that, then the game's a lot more even.
Yeah, it's definitely... I feel like this might almost be a bit of a repeat of... This is just me guessing. Might be a repeat of what happened in our most recent match, where it's like, if you can get your offense going, if you can get your game plan rolling, then you are good to go. And right there, beautiful kill and quick offense for Seraphim, and quick goal, beautiful shot. That's how it starts. Let's see if that's how it finishes.
Yeah, they are playing quite solidly right now. They managed to recover the 2 barrier deficit by taking 2 of their own very quickly. If they can keep going here, that would be huge, but right now, my eyes are still glued onto that Juno.
Yeah, and frankly, who can blame you? Juno is incredible. Honestly, Juno is, in my opinion, good in a lot of aspects you wouldn't expect her to be. Like, Juno can get around very nicely, great core control, can dish out the damage. Juno can kind of do a little bit of everything. Weird, was that a back pass? I feel like that was an own barrier, and that sets up for like a really dangerous situation, because we know that Oxblood has offense. Beautiful save! Barely saves that one, but barely is all you need sometimes.
Yeah, and too soon getting it out, but hits it right to Shadow. The previous save was brilliant, but that one not too great, unfortunately, as Chikara Girls will capitalize and move on to 1-1.
Yeah, very fierce back and forth already. Like, we're 2 goals in, people. It's already getting tough. We already got a barrier down. We already got a flip that needs to be popped, exchanged. Both barriers on the bottom side, so we know things are gonna get a little bit nutty for real soon. So yeah, definitely gonna have to keep your eye on the core, because it will be going around very fast.
Definitely will be, as Loudlace tries to find the Crystal Thorns, a flip across the map. And after the last game, I'm not looking at flips across the map the same way again. A KO found by Shadow at the perfect moment, sinking it right in. And you weren't kidding when you said that Shadow was looking to brawl, because that is exactly what they're doing right now.
Oh yeah, I've seen Shadow around at good times. Shadow like to get in the mix of it. Like with that Aimi, yeah, as well. Especially like, he knows that, you can definitely see he knows how to pilot an Aimi. So gotta be careful. Of that. That's a big threat. That's who I actually had as kind of like my player to watch for Chikara Girls.
Yep. And once again, Shadow trying to find the offense here, but 2 barriers down, maybe an opening for Loudlace to push forward here. Not quite top side, and Shadow again finds the outplay with the secondary, but the net is still open on the other side. They can get it there. The glitch pop attempt is good. Arcmeister keeps the core under control, but too soon. Strikes at the right timing, but it goes right back. Shadow sends it forward, and the possession is so good from Chikara Girls, and with the assistance of the Fireball Sentry, they'll sink it in to take the set.
Yeah, that was honestly a beautiful core control, beautiful passing, just making sure that Terraform Oxblood just could not get anything going on that point. And like I was saying earlier, like Shadow loved to get in the mix of it, and look at what it's rewarded them.
Stacks on stacks. Definitely going to give a lot of speed in the fight or flight, right? And maintaining possession is pretty important. I think your eyes were more on that single spark or the perfect form, right?
Yeah, it really was. I was actually looking for to take that spark. I'm not gonna joke.
Well, yeah, and instead it'll be last pick getting the single spark. That's a lot of value there for Knight.
Yeah, I mean, like, Knight Zentaro, we all know what Zentaro can do with that blade. It's dangerous, people. So that only gonna help things, but that's if they can get control of the core. And right now, Chikara Girls, like we said earlier, very good core control, very good at making sure that Lioneless is not really in position to do a whole lot of good redirects, so that Knight cannot get that blade swinging, get that damage output going. And if they can keep this up, then all the spark strength in the world ain't gonna matter.
Still pushing forward, and Knight finds the KO onto Shadow. That's a big swing if they can get this barrier especially. Pass up to the top side, follow up with the primary, trying to find this barrier, and they manage to get it around Godzilla, who doesn't strike in time. Tries to use the primary to beat the multiple hits, but it will be Loudlace on the crossfire, getting the goal for Seraphim Oxblood.
I feel like that was everybody's eyes was on Knight, and they forgot the sniper in the back, just waiting on the other side. And like we've seen what Loudlace can do, very good on the redirect front, very good on kind of like coming in when absolutely necessary, out of nowhere. So that's something else Chikara Girls are going to have to watch out for if they want to like come back on this and make sure that they can keep it going.
Yeah, but that's a lot of damage on Knight, but Shadow's even lower. A lot of chip damage across the board here, but no KOs found just yet. Loudlace, though, trying to find an opening. No, interrupted by Arcmeister, who has been pretty stable in the midfield so far this game, and Godzilla will avoid getting the barrier taken as well as the Juno sends it forward too soon. Caught out by the secondary of Arcmeister. Well played by the Juno and the Firewall Sentry. Going to be a bit of an obstacle as Shadow stays alive.
Yeah, very good saving. Shadow kind of saving themselves, gets that energy, and just manages to keep themselves alive for a little bit longer, keep themselves in position for some passes. Had to burn it on an evade to stay alive, though. So, but that's gonna kind of like their whole game plan. Try and get in front of everybody else, so Shadow make sure they are right in position for those beautiful shots that they've kind of been making all game.
Yeah, and not just the right position, but a beautiful self-pass as well with the glitch pop. Out of absolutely nowhere. I think Knight and Loudlace both thought that they would get it past the glitch pop, but the timing was so good from Shadow.
Yeah, that I can't really say too much more about that, but Shadow, I was about to say Shadow looking low, Shadow looking dead. Knight got the kill order and delivered.
Well, still pushing forward here, trying to find a little bit more as they go for some passing plays, but it's not quite going to work out here. Loudlace still in a bit of trouble, trying to find another opening, trying to push forward onto too soon, and with the net open, it's going to be a big opening for Chikara Girls if they can find one good pass.
Yeah, but to be fair, that's kind of like been their whole game. Like, you can definitely see what the difference in game plan, what the difference in win condition so far. For Chikara Girls, it's very much get Archmeister, get Shadow in position, and then start passing and just try and like 1-2 the goalie, 1-2 too soon. Meanwhile, for Seraphim Oxblood, it's try and kill everybody you can. Almost gets the cross-country goal, but hits right on the corner, hits right on the angle, and now they've got to fight for it. Both of them. Open goal, back and forth.
Yeah, core speed picking up here. You gotta be careful if you're in the open net as a melee goalie. Loudlace trying to find an opening with the piercing shot, but it will go a little bit wide, and Shadow yet again sets up perfectly with a cyber swipe, gets the hit stun, gets the dribble, and finds the goal. 2-1 now. Chikara Girls looking to take a 2-0 lead in sets. It's looking quite doable for them.
Oh yes, absolutely. With the way Shadow's been playing and the way they've been figuring out these angles, figuring out I need to intercept right now and just boom, glitch pop, boom, cyber swipe, or hey, I'm just at this really good angle and there is a really good chance that the core is about to go here. I'm just gonna be here. Thank you for the pass. In. Hey!
Yeah, you said it, and they did exactly like you said. Arkmeister with a flip in front of the net secures the set, finds the MVP, and this Juno could be a lot scarier. No hot shot to be found, but still plenty of very solid awakenings here. Could go for Deadeye, could go for Rapid Fire, could go for a lot of things here.
Rapid Fire it is, and hey, don't blame him. Sling those slimes. Right now, we have Xanataro kind of like waiting a little bit. Atlas gets prime time. Sure, could use that. Everybody kind of like hesitant on this draft, it feels like. Everybody's kind of like scared to see what everybody else is going to get or waiting. And I wonder what that says about the mindset of both these teams, if I'm being real.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting spot to be in if you're Seraphim Moxblood. It's not like they were completely out, right? They had fantastic goals, and all the sets so far look competitive. But when it comes to converting, it was Chikara Girls, it was Shadow in particular, who was the most consistent. And yet again, it's Shadow with the glitch pop, catching the clear from too soon. The hard read, the option coverage. I think Chikara Girls got this one.
Yeah, that was almost academic. That glitch pop was out. That glitch pop was out before Tsusumi even tried to clear.
Well, trying to find some more offense here as one barrier already going down, trying to push forward for another possibly. As Knight finds one barrier, looking for two on the bottom side. But no, not quite. Defended away by Chikara Girls.
Yeah, good. Honestly, almost a little bit better offense. Like Knight's whole thing has been trying to get into the goal line and just start shredding people apart. You know, like that seems to be like their whole game plan. But like I said, they haven't been able to execute because they haven't really gotten the core. They haven't been able to have any sustained offense for very long periods of time, and that's just allowing Chikara Girls to take that core control and just kind of like dominate everything. Like they needed a flip to kind of get it out of Shadow's hands, paws, whatever you want to call it, and that says to me that they realize that Shadow is the dangerous one, but they also cannot forget about the Juno. The Juno is incredible at being able to self-pass and set themselves up, and those slimes are no joke. So now what we got is Chikara Girls on match 3-0.
Yeah, it's looking like a possibility. It's looking more likely by the second because Shadow and Arkmeister have been a dynamic forward duo. Both of them have been finding the goals. Both of them have been finding the passes. And yet again, they challenge the corner. This time, Godzilla a little bit out of position, trying to cover the top barrier. The flip goes through. Arkmeister with the slime. Two barriers down. Shadow, glitch pop, yet again. Catches the clear. The read. The option coverage yet again. And Chikara Girls dominant as they qualify for the finale.
That was incredible. Like that glitch pop. Did you see the angle it sent the core at? Basically kind of like a self shimmy. Just caught Tsusume a little bit out. And really though, that was kind of like that was kind of the story of the whole match. Just, hey, pass it to me, pass it to you, pass it to myself. Who am I gonna pass it to? You don't know. Oh hey, I know where I'm gonna pass it to. Inside the goal.
Yep. Well, we'll have to go to a quick break because the next qual game's already ready. This time I think I'll play an ad though. And don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And holy moly, there's a lot of people web fishing. Hello everyone, I'm here with Tiger Slasher, and we're here to watch Yes I Love Dubu and the Chikara Clinkers, two undefeated teams, face off on Taiko Temple. Winner qualifies for the finale, loser gets one more shot against Seraphim Oxblood. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. College has been a bit rough, but you know, ready to talk about some Omega Strikers and see where the whole OS Amateur series goes.
And what are your thoughts on Juno? Because I think a pretty popular pick in OSAS and in general in the mid to kinda mid-high levels of play. The core speed is a big factor, and Juno has been the forefront of that core speed today.
I think also we gotta take a look at the map. It's Taiko Temple, kind of a bit notorious for how creations can kind of very much help the midfielder out. And that core speed combined with what looks like gonna be a Dubu forward is gonna be an interesting combo that we're about to see.
It's like they beat Seraphim Crimson, where Kurikan played the Dubu forward, and then they stole that energy. They're yoinking the Dubu pick to use themselves, and they are picking the Dubu here. They're also picking the Kai goalie, which is a very interesting choice on Taiko Temple, because Kai, not the most fun on Taiko.
I don't know about that. I always have fun with Kai. Doesn't matter if he's good or not, he's always a fun character, you know?
Yep. What's your thoughts on the other composition, though? Because it looks like it is a Mako in the forward position.
It's gotta be interesting because we got looks to be a Kazan midfield, which is definitely an unusual turn of events. But it is Taiko, so these kind of melee kind of characters can really take up the lane and cause a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it might even be the Mako midfielding for a little bit. Both these characters can do a bit of lane holding, like you said. Right now, though, Vicblade, top side, looking for a lot of mobility and firmly established as that forward position. On the other side, Kiane on the Atlas looking to hold it down, while Junk Dogma will look to be a little bit more active. But Kiane's lagging. Lags all the way forward, expands in the middle of the field, and that was a little unfortunate as the barrier goes down.
Yeah, now we got Meowsy trying to make a move right here. Almost gets to the first barrier. Manages to get it through with the log. Slime's in position, but looks like it's going back down to a slow play.
Oh, it's an open net. Really tough spot if you're an Atlas, and there the Slime redirect into the bottom corner from Magnus will secure the goal, and that is the first goal for Yes I Love Dubu.
Dubu.
Thank you. Yeah, well, that's what their team name is, that's what they're playing, and that's what their emote wheel is bound to. But the first barrier will be taken here by Vicblade, actually, who finds two. The Kazan finding the follow-up as well. Two barriers fall, and Agnes is sending it forward, trying to find some barriers on the other side. Meowsy with the Token Fortress setup. Two barriers already down, and the point has just swung around completely as the strike war is won by Meowsy.
Any single time Dubu gets that ult up in the corner, it's always a scary threat for any single goalie. There's basically nothing anyone can do except maybe Dubu himself.
Yeah.
But anyway, we go back to the kickoff and we're immediately got some forward pressure going on. But the first barrier goes down.
Yeah, one barrier already down. That's what Vicblade has been very good at. That's what the team of Chikara Clinkers has been very good at so far. It's taking that barrier early. But Kiana hits it into the slime. More possession kept by Meowsy, trying to Token Fortress the corner here, but doesn't quite do it that time. Vicblade, though, taking so much damage, actually regenning now and staying alive for the moment. A Swift Deity trying to push up as well, but it's kind of difficult when there's a massive Dubu in your way and the slimes are sending the core to the other side of the map, and the jump forward as well keeps the core under possession. But still, it is Meowsy sending it away, and the slimes, yet again for Magnus, are taking so many barriers. I don't know, Tiger. So far, it's looking like the Juno is just absolutely controlling this midfield here.
Yeah. With all that, the presence of both the slimes and that dash, you can just kind of be anywhere and control any spot on the stage. It's definitely very oppressive. However, it looks like Vic might be looking to get for a core flip.
quite possibly, as the core is missed by Junk Dogma, trying to catch a Vic Blade, trying to kill Vic Blade here, but unstaggers just in time to survive Meowsie's roll. Swift Deity trying to hit onto the barrier, finds it. Vic Blade needs to pull the trigger on this flip, needs to find this goal soon, as the Strike Wars won. The dash flip missed, but Vic Blade trying to find a dribble, no, it goes right past Swift Deity as well. And finally, with the help of the Ensnare Drum, Chikara Clinkers will find the goal. Well played, and they do conserve a lot of meter on Swift Deity and Kiane.
Definitely nice going to be seeing that energy start, as well as getting that first goal is definitely going to be a good mental boost for the team.
Yeah, Chikara Clinkers still looking to push forward here as a Vic Blade. No meter, taken very low, but still has a lot of presence with the hook. The Kazan character has a very wide area of influence with the dash, with the hook, with a lot of hitboxes, and we're going to see Vic Blade try to go for another barrier, but it's defended away with the help of Agnes. No strike comes out from Junk Dogma, and a good hit stun with the slime means that all barriers are down.
Meowsy gets that up to Agnes.
Oh,
Meowsy managed to get the kill and the goal. Secures the first set. Goes to Dubu.
They do love Dubu as they emote, and as we're heading to the draft, what are you looking at here?
Well, first things first, I'm always concerned about where that spark scaling is going to be going. Other than that, we got some prime time and some unstoppable. So, no sparks. So, I'm wondering what the goalies are going to be getting. But that prime time is never going to be able to hold things down. But missile prop on the Dubu is very strong. You get to put that wall up much further back, much easier to set up, much more flexible.
Yeah, it's so strong to the point where I'm kind of wondering if Kiane should have denied that, because Missile Prop is very good on Atlas's primary as well, so that's probably the pick that should have been made, maybe something to think about next time.
Yes, especially without any strike shot, the primary can be lacking in range a lot of times. And we're already seeing good value out of that Missile Prop there. Immediately gets both the barriers down.
Yeah, and as both barriers fall, now they're in a nightmare situation against Agnes, the Juno, who has free reign to control the midfield, to fire the core forwards, and to jump to the other side of the map. So much presence. Yet again, as they look to the bottom side, look to find a play with Meowsy. Passing up to the top side, a slime in position. Kiane to the bottom, finds the clear right around the Dubu. One barrier down, big opportunity for Vic Blade, but a good clear will send it away. Vic Blade, one more shot to the top side, no, defended away. As Meowsy now tries to find a bounce, tries to find an angle, but Vic Blade will find it around everybody. And this time it is Chikara Clinkers with a potential chance at a goal here.
Chikara keeps putting up that pressure, but finally Team Dubu manages to get it out. Maybe they can finally get some conversion in. Maybe.
As this slime core speed is ridiculous in overtime. Swift Deity can't manage it, Kiane can't quite reach it in time. And again, the Juno core speed becomes a big factor.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we're ever going to get to see some hot shot or a 1-2 later down the line to really get everything ramped up.
Yeah, that could be the key, but right now, that core flip was the key, creating a striker advantage so early, the Kazan down, and Vic Blade was the one making the majority of the presence in terms of offense for Chikara Clinkers. So with Vic Blade gone for a moment, it was a little bit rough. Oh no, Kiane clears right into Agnes, unfortunately. Well done with the slimes to the top side yet again, and Yesel Dubu is looking dominant.
Yeah. Not just the Dubu, but when Agnes got the Dash Awakening, when Explosive Entrance, they've been really able to just go around the map and snipe the core out of possession when the enemy team's and not expecting it whatsoever. Like just right there, it forces the flip off of Kinone.
Yeah, and with that cooldown burned, it's going to be a hard defense for the Chikara Clinkers. Expanse burn, shot to the top, good projection by Kiane to make sure that goal doesn't go in just yet, but it's still an open net, it's still a Juno, it's still the Dubu looking for an opportunity, and Junk Dogma is continuing to hold this barrier down for the moment, a coverage strike shot as well. And once again, it is so difficult for Chikara Clinkers to get it out of their side, looking for a pass, but interrupted by Agnes for the moment, building up a flip here, and this flip might just seal the deal if Agnes can get into a good spot. But Kiane is finding some good clears for the moment, but a good spot for Agnes, doesn't choose to flip there. trying to find an even better opportunity, it looks like, as Agnes runs up, finds the flip, and that's the goal. That's the set. That's Yes I Love Dubu going up 2-0 here in dominant fashion. And as we head onto this draft with Juno first pick, what are you looking at?
Well, looks like we got both Hotshot and 1-2 available. But we also are possibly going to be looking at some spark scaling. So we'll have to see if anyone decides to go down that route.
Yeah, that spark not opted for though, goes for the Monumentalist instead, trying to get some more coverage on the defense, but might have wanted to pick up that stacks on stacks. Might need a little bit more speed, and as the Awakenings fall, that extra special on the Dubu, extra special missile prop. That's scary.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, just non-stop of just constant Dubu ults. That's going to be a lot of pressure on the goalie.
Yeah, this is a really scary situation for Chikara Clinkers. Yes I Love Dubu's taken over this game, and Meowsie's in the corner. A barrier's already down.
This game's going to be going by really quickly. I mean, you got both the Hotshot and the just unlimited supply of all-you-can-eat tofus.
Yeah, trying to send it forward yet again. Jumping forward is Agnes, almost taken out actually by the expansive Kiane backwards, but not quite, and Meowth is keeping the core contained. Junk Dogma's there just in case, sending it forward. Vicblade though, catches Junk Dogma sleeping at the wheel. Too many dribbles for the Kai, and Vicblade capitalizes.
Yeah, once that Kazan gets right in front of you, if he gets possession, it's really hard to win those strike wars with all that speed that he has, with how fast he hits that core.
Yeah, and now so many slimes come out. Agnes activated with the hot shot, trying to find the speed, but it's Vicblade winning all the strike wars. And Yes I Love Dubu, they're so solid on the offense, but their defense is a little bit lacking here as a goal goes in.
Yeah, unfortunately betrayed by the Dubu wall. You can't win them all.
And from death, the goal is scored. A lot of meter built up on both sides though. Flips are gonna be plenty in this set. Meowsy pushing forward with the missile prop, trying to find another opportunity. The Slimes deflected away by Swift Deity. But so far, it's the Slimes once again from the Juno really taking over the game.
Looks like...
It's a little bit
Yeah.
awkward too, because when Kazan has the core, when Vicblade has the core, there's a lot of room for Vicblade to work with, especially when Junk Dogma is missing some of these strike shots, missing some of these barrages, and overcommitting. But the main point for Yes I Love Dubu is that they keep the core contained. They're the ones in control most of the time.
Yeah. Possession just keeps going back and forth on both teams. On one team, you have at one moment, I Love Dubu has core. The other moment, Chikara just has possession.
Yeah, and it's all up to how much they can get off of it. And right now, Agnes is looking even scarier in overtime, as the barrier is indeed taken. But the Tofu Fortress, good flip by Swift Deity to make sure that Tofu Fortress can't do too much tomfoolery. But Kiane doesn't choose to flip there, and that is their downfall. Chikara Clinkers drop a point, but they're still up 2-1. They're still looking to get back into this game.
All it takes is one more point, and we can get another set going in.
That's all it takes, as Meowsy has been such a presence standing up in the enemy goal box. This time going for a Tofu Fortress to zone away Vicblade, but unfortunately Junk Dogma a little bit out of position. Does slow the play down a little bit, but the core speed picks it right back up. Meowsy playing midfield for Agnes right now, but Swift Deity with a good strike ward to keep it away, and a good barrage by Junk Dogma to get it out of the corner. A good Giga Blast to keep it forward, but Meowsy's hit stun taken out of the play for the moment, and Junk Dogma is just constantly trying to get it out of this corner because Vicblade is relentless. There's not enough damage pressure to make sure the Kazan is out of commission, and Agnes has so many slimes to try and deal with Kiane. Not quite enough for the moment, but Kiane is still pushing forward here. Agnes, once again, top side, flip burn from Junk Dogma as the core goes around the world. Meowsy keeping it contained on the bottom side, keeping it on the half. Good barrage by Junk Dogma, but Vicblade finds the catch. And all it takes is one good shot in this overtime for Chikara Clinkers, and that will be it. They stay alive here. They get a set.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's not too much more on the table for Team Yes I Love Dubu, so we'll have to see if the enemy, if Team Chikara Clinkers is able to outscale them finally, because now they're getting the rapid fire Kazan, which will be very strong. I'm curious to see who gets Catalyst and ends up being the Atlas.
Yeah, and another big awakening, I think, is team player. Additional core speed in this game, and it is actually picked up by the side of Yeslav Dubu. I think I would have slightly preferred it on someone who was not the Juno, because Juno does find a lot of core speed by herself, right? But overall, I think it will be very valuable, again, for that early core speed, for keeping the core up and getting it past the midfield. And that's exactly what we're seeing here.
Yeah, I mean, team player goes on one of two characters, either the goalie or the forward. It's interesting to see the twin drive take, because I definitely think they could have definitely swapped around the team player and the twin drive. However, it might have been trying to deny the Atlas the twin drive.
Yeah, that could be it. Yeah, Kiene, though, trying to deny the other team the Catalyst, and maybe trying to get some core flips for themselves. Patrolling the midfield right now, trying to push forward, as Junk Dogma is pushing forward really far. Was that a team KO? Did Meowsy just...
I think so.
Well, sometimes that happens, and the Kai falls. Agnes, though, 2 barriers taken on a clear that wasn't too great from Kiene, but an amazing shot by Vicblade, and Kiene has the flip. Potential for a hero play here. Oh, Swift Deity! What a setup! Had the Ensnare Drums in the bottom corner, had the primary in the top corner, and they try to find a clear around, but it's not enough.
A lot of things just happened at that point. We got an own team kill, and just everything that happened in the net right there is everything came right into place for Chikara Clinkers, and they took perfect advantage of that.
Oh, but we're seeing a bit of something that we see almost every tournament stream. It's the curse of Strike Shot. Junk Dogma has been going for Strike Shot instead of Strike, and sometimes that will come back to bite you if you overshoot or undershoot. A flip in the corner. Manages to get it past for the moment, but Vicblade stuffed away by the combined efforts of Agnes and Meowsy, who are pushing up. Flip available. Meowsy looking to carry this game, but stuffed by the entire force of Chikara Clinkers. But the slime is still there. They got to be careful of the terrain. Meowsy still pushing forward. And Meowsy's surprisingly tanky, staying alive for quite a long time, as Junk Dogma and Agnes have rotated to the forward position, trying to find a slime. Agnes with the raw slime, single slime. Oh, Vicblade. No, you were so close to making the hero save. Accidentally strikes it into the own goal. And yes, I love Dubu, 1 goal away now from taking this game.
Yeah, I mean, anything can happen, Core's been going fast, but we've been seeing Chikara Clinkers. They've managed to make a comeback. They've been taking what they can, and just they aren't out yet. So we'll have to see where this all goes, with Dogma going all the way up there.
Yeah, 1 barrier down already. Trying to find another is Agnes and Meowsy. Sending it forward, trying to find the roll, finding the barrier. Meowsy in position. The core speed sends it forward, but not quite enough on that attempt. Agnes, though, has flip available. Team player flip will be devastating here if in position for it. 1 barrier down. Vicblade trying to find 2 barriers down. A flip into midfield, but Swift Deity has the coverage, and Vicblade trying to find the strike where it catches the core away from the slime with the top spin. And now with the core drifting in the midfield, they got to be so careful of the slime. Swift Deity's there on the defense, and Kiene expanses it away for the moment. Kiene now looking for a passing play. Swift Deity to the top side. The core speed coming into play for Clinkers as well. And Vicblade converges onto the core, finds the pop-up, finds the primary, finds the strike, and Chikara Clinkers 1 goal away from staying alive. I don't know, Tiger. It's been incredibly close, but what do you think is making the difference? Because Meowsy, in some points, is really getting in there, and in other points has been just hit around.
I think part of it is the size scaling that Chikara Clinkers has been able to get. Being able to kind of have size on this map lets you kind of hold an entire lane a lot longer. I mean, you look at that Kazan strike, it almost covers the entire lane.
Oh, they got to be so careful here, though. Look at the core speed. It's coming in. Meowsy, in the midst of 3, finds the perfect strike. Hit stunned into the perfect position, and Yeslav Dubu, they will prevail. Chikara Clinkers, valiant effort at a comeback, but they'll have to try again versus Seraphim Moxblood in the lower bracket. That was very well played from both teams. I was very impressed by Vicblade in particular. Like that guy was all over the map.
Definitely. But I think I gotta give my MVP to Agnes, just being able to control that midfield right there and just being all around and being an overall nuisance to the enemy team.
Well, we're going to go to a bit of a quick break before we head on to our next match where Chikara Clinkers versus Seraphim Oxblood, two teams that fell just barely short. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. final match of the night, final qualifying spot in the finale for week 1. It's Seraphim Oxblood versus Chikara Clinkers, two teams that we've seen earlier, Chikara Clinkers more recently. Tiger Slasher, hello. Any immediate thoughts on this game that's going to go on Night Market?
Oh, it looks like we're gonna be looking at some more Juno again already, and it's definitely. Do we get to see the Starting Awakenings?
No. OSAS is special, in which we do it all in game so that the bracket doesn't last until 3 a.m.
That definitely makes it nicer for the players. But it looks like we're starting out with that was I believe in Kazan and Zentaro ban.
Yep. And we're seeing the Juno priority again, classic OSAS, but maybe I shouldn't say just classic OSAS because we saw it being played very well in Nassau too, so.
I'm just glad to not be seeing Aramako X on Night Market back in the old days.
Yeah, or Aragoli Double Brawler, you know? That's a bit of a classic as well.
Yeah. Definitely, that's a nice thing about OSAS as well, is you get to see more unique team compositions. People aren't necessarily going to be running for the absolute meta all the time.
Yeah, speaking of comfort and not the absolute meta, what are your thoughts on Vice on Night Market in particular?
Vice is definitely an interesting striker. We haven't really get to see them on midfield. You typically see them more on goalie. But with her primary being able to slow down, as well as just kind of how damage heavy Night Market can be at times, it's definitely kind of an interesting take.
Definitely so. Asher, Rasmus Vice versus Juno Atlas Juliet. The goalie is looking to be pretty stable here. That's an Asher goalie versus an Atlas goalie. And we're going to see if Knight can really dominate on Juliet here. What's the Starting Awakening? What's your thoughts?
I very much agree with the people taking Hot Shot, except maybe the Atlas. One of the issues with Atlas with Hot Shot is if you hit the core away from you too quickly. Oh, Knight already getting the KO on Night Market.
Bit of a home
right in the name.
Even. Yeah.
As I was saying though, the primary on Atlas, if you hit the core way too fast, it won't catch the enemy in the hit stun as much.
Oh yeah, that is definitely a factor in terms of people just striking it away from the primary sometimes. And another thing is, I think we saw this in the qualifiers for the leagues as well, but leaving Juno up on Hotshot is a very perilous decision to make because Zales might just be taking over the entire midfield, and especially against a relatively immobile Vice, this Juno is going to have a bit of a field day.
Yeah, that brings me to another point that I want to talk about is the Pummeler's Vice. Very interesting take in my opinion. I feel like you normally see them going for some movement or extra damage on siphoning one. What are your thoughts on the take?
I think it's a very feast or famine. You either get the KO or you spend your time walking around, waddling around a little too slowly. And so far, it's unfortunately been a little bit of famine as, wow, Knight goes in with a dash punch flip. That's a big KO to be found for the power play, especially if they could burn this flip off of Kiane, or maybe if they could find both barriers here, but too soon, walks up a little too soon, and that's the barrier going down, but a good strike will keep it under control for the moment.
Yeah, definitely getting to see the true value of Juliet on Night Market here as Knight, KO after KO, keeps just showing who's the boss. Are you trying to stand towards the edge? No. Oh, you are not going to stand towards the edge. Juliet says that is my edge.
And there's the slimes coming in as well, and Latlace, a bit of a mirror move from last point, except this time Knight didn't find the strike on it. That's a goal for Seraphim Oxblood as they're looking so dominant, and Kiane has the flip but hasn't used it so far. Overall,
I already looked. Oh, you go.
My bad. Yes. No, I waited for so long and then talked. That was 100% my bad. Holy moly! But I think another thing is right. Knight's getting a lot of fake combos. They're not really evading Knight stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if you play it right, if you put the core against the wall just like that, they're gonna be more distracted on trying to win the interaction than they are gonna be at that Juliet going for the dash punch right on top of them. So if if Oxblood can take advantage of that, they can get a lot more KOs. It looks like we're going into the next set already.
Yeah, unfortunately, Kiane held flip for what seems like all 3 of those points. Really needs to pull the trigger on that on the defense, I think, especially against the Hotshot Juno, because Lalace is taking over the game. And this draft's really interesting.
I'm immediately looking at Ad Rush. I think if Oxblood can get Ad Rush on their Julie, they instantly win. But it looks like they still have the backup of Spark Scaling to go through. But they opt for Fight or Flight.
Yeah, they opt for the mobility pick instead, which is still incredibly good. Spark Scaling picked up by Too Soon, instead denying it from Device, who does pick up the consolation prize of Deadeye. I mean, Deadeye Vice. Still very, very good.
Yeah, I take that consolation prize any day.
You know what could be a factor, actually? Atlas, a Spark of Power Hotshot.
You know what? I haven't thought about that.
Well,
Anyway.
it might not be a factor if Knight and Lalace continue to dominate the midfield and the enemy goal box as well, because they're finding the KOs. The Slimer is chasing the core Too Soon. It gets hit around for the moment, but an amazing clear sends it around. Vicblade and Swift Deity's in trouble yet again. Too Soon is doing laps around Night Market, this time losing a barrier for it, but it was a valiant attempt. Tried to use the speed gate, and whoa, what a shot to the top side. Too Soon passing to Lalace, trying to find a passing play through to Knight as the slime comes through as well. Kiane with a good clear, but really patient strikes, really patient positioning from Lalace to make sure that they're in the corner here and sending the core up to Knight. A dash punch in, Kiane still doesn't flip. Oh no, Chikara Clinkers, they're in a lot of trouble.
I'm trying to think if it's possible for Chikara Clinkers to manage to get some damage on Lalace. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but if they can possibly get some damage scaling, they might be able to stop the midfield pressure up and force Knight to fall back and be less aggressive. But there goes Knight again, time after time again. It's the same old story. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, Knight looking like a certain guy that might be getting here. Once again to the top side, and whoa, what a punch through. Vicblade didn't expect that lingering hitbox. Accidentally whiplashes it into the back of the net. Seraphim Moxblood continuing to dominate in this game. And I think a lot of it's on Too Soon and Lalace being stable on the defense enough that Knight doesn't even have to worry.
What do you think is the first step that Chikara can take in order to start turning this game around?
I think they need to just have their finger ready, be a little bit more prepared to press the evade button, because a lot of these quote-unquote combos from Knight are like Flame Flurry into Dash Punch, and you can evade while you're Flame Flurried. You can evade after the Flame Flurry. There are a lot of times you can get out of that, and Knight is getting some KOs that they should not be getting for free. Good dash by Kiane to the bottom side, keeping it alive as Vicblade finds a barrier, finds a hook. Chain Lightning is perfect. The Expanse disappears as well, but it is still an open net on the side of Chikara Clinkers. Knight and Lalace still pushing forward, still doing damage to Kiane. Too Soon clears, but amazing catch by Vicblade. That's the Vicblade we saw last game on the Kazan. Trying to do it again here, but it's going to be an uphill battle.
It's definitely going to be interesting. This match has definitely been interesting. Both goalies without their unstoppable kind of makes them a lot more prone to being able to be scored on by both Rasmus and the Julie. We'll probably be able to see that throughout the whole match.
Oh yeah, now that you point that out, that's huge. Against Rasmus in particular, right? You would expect Too Soon to just go the unstoppable. That feels like a bit of a drafting error, even more so than the hotshot being a little weird. Still like a fine choice on Atlas after all, but that unstoppable would have been even better. They're still winning though, they're still looking good, but Vicblade has time. Fake out, top side, tries to fake out the primary as well. Bottom side now, what a masterclass by Vicblade, and Swift Deity had a good pass in there as well. That's a highlight reel moment.
Yeah. Vicblade really showing the dancing around with that hook and the dribbles, really mixing up Oxblood.
Alright, time to go for some more here. Vicblade trying to stay alive in this game, try to even it up here. And they're suddenly even in the set, right? A big opportunity here. Swift Deity and Vicblade can find a big moment, can find this last barrier. It was such a one-sided game, but now it's so close.
I mean, now that you mention it, Swift Deity has definitely been dying a lot less to Knight, and it seems like they just haven't been able to take advantage of that. And even now, oh, with the core flip?
Oh, but they do win the strike war right afterwards. Chikara Clinkers keeping it alive here, but with an open net, with the hot shot Juno, they gotta be so careful because Knight's looking for a dash punch. Loudlace is looking for any kind of follow-up here. Such a dangerous spot to be in as Vicblade dances near the edge of the map. And the hot shot Juno is still coming in. The dash punch is found by Knight. The hook misses. And now to the bottom side, a good flip by Kiane. Waits out the slime as well. Keeps it alive for the moment. As the power play is being stalled out, Loudlace though, that core speed's going to be even more devastating soon. But they managed to get it out of the corner. They managed to get the stun. Looking for the barrier now. But the Supernova goes wide and Knight and Loudlace are just approaching. The slime stuffed away by Swift Deity. Trying to find a bounce here. Knight's dash punch, the first miss we've seen in a long time from Knight. Big opportunity for Vicblade, but the barrier still stands, and if the barrier stands, Too Soon has a lot of room to play with, and Loudlace and Knight can play so aggressively. Kiane trying to get it away. Good strike by Swift Deity to get it out, but it's still such a tough spot because the hotshot Juno is approaching. Good evade though, not getting dash punch after the Flame Flurry, but the core speed is ridiculous now. Knight gets an opportunity, hits it right to Kiane. The opportunity wasted, unfortunately, but there'll be more when the hotshot Juno is hitting the core forward. But an amazing clear by Kiane. Vicblade now with a chance, trying to send it forward. Swift Deity trying to find the hit stun. And the primary from Kiane waited out by Knight. Such incredible patience to take the second set.
Very impressive from Knight right there. One of the hardest people to get a core flip through is Asher. She gets right in your face. There's a lot of buttons she can press.
And looking at this draft, what catches your eye? Because there's a lot of power picks here.
I'm looking at first Sparks, Egoist, and then also some of the Size Awakenings. They're all looking pretty strong.
Yeah, Kiane picks up Prime Time, but in a start like this, the additional size might have been useful as well. Background stats on the Juno is scary.
I agree with the Prime Time here, actually, because with the Prime Time and Hotshot Asher, that's almost a win con in of itself. You'll nearly always have a primary available, and Asher primary's very notoriously hard ability to get through. But we'll have to see if we'll be able to use the slimes to get around the Asher instead of straight through.
Yeah, definitely a good ability, especially against the slimes, being able to push past them on the goalie side. But like you said, you predicted it. Getting around the Asher is the key with the core speed on the slimes. And that's exactly what they did to take two barriers too soon, though. Big blunder, loses two barriers because they lost the speed gates. They overcommitted. And now Vicblade's in position to find a play. Looking to dribble to the top side, hit stun with the Unstoppable. So useful against the Atlas, but Knight's pushing forward, has the flip. Top side maybe? But no, defended away. So much core speed though. Kiane in a lot of trouble. The pass splitter goes wide, but they still manage to defend. And like you said, the primetime hotshot is making so that Kiane has a lot of uptime on these primaries.
Definitely gonna be difficult for Oxblood to start scoring from here on. But we'll have to see how much that hotshot June gets abused. We also are looking at some spark scaling coming up from Atlas, so they got some good insurance in that.
Yep. Now Loudlace forward, Kiane, flip available now. Really tough spot though. Supernova against the flip is so useful. Well played by Swift Deity against Too Soon, and Vicblade will convert. Chikara Clinkers, they may be down 2 sets, but they are looking to keep it close.
Yeah. I'm definitely thinking the Chikara Clinkers is starting to make a comeback here. Swift is dying less. They got some good scaling on their team. It's definitely looking scary.
Oh, and Vicblade importantly survives with flip intact. That was a little greedy, but the greed pays off there. Tiger, though, it's still a tough spot here because flip's available for Knight. Good Supernova, though, keeps it away for the moment. And Knight's being brought low. They can get a kill here. That would be huge, but I don't think it's too likely. But the core speed, the Loudlace slimes pushing forward, but the dash barely misses. Vicblade now using the speed gate, pushing forward, 1 barrier down, looking for 2. As once again, it's still an open net. They got to be careful of that hotshot core speed, especially from the Atlas as well, not just the Juno, but Vicblade. What a good strike, finds the barrier as the pass splitter stops the core in the corner. Kiane strike shots it away, and Vicblade still looking. Loudlace in the bottom side. Kiane looking for the dribble. Vicblade up to the top side, but interrupted by Knight, who is flexed to be on the defense, and that's such a big difference, right? Earlier in the game, Knight was permanently on the other side of the field. This time, Knight is being put onto the defense. That's a huge swing in the momentum here for the side of Chikara Clinkers.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we're taking a look at a possible offense right here. Knight tries to get the pass over Fury. Core flips, goes for the top corner and gets it in.
Oh wow, through two people as well as Kiane, who was looking for that top corner strike shot. Well played from Lalace in that moment to get it done and even up the game. 2 goals away from a win still. Seraphim Oxblood. Even though they're looking less dominant, they're still looking strong.
Gotta take it one barrier, then one goal at a time. But both teams looking very strong so far. It's a very even match so far.
Yeah, indeed, and with Knight building up a lot of meter, that could be a flip soon, but Kiane has a flip just in case it's needed on the defense as well. Lalace, though, playing close to the edge, and now Kiane just hitting around Knight because Lalace is kind of overcommitting on a lot of these approaches, burning the slime early, giving Kiane a clear angle. And with Swift ID walking the core up, this midfield has swung right back around, especially if Kiane can walk forward with the primary. Good flip by Too Soon, good patience as well, and good judgment to not get it stuffed out, but it's still a barrier taken. And now Swift ID and Vicblade are converging on the core, but with the cooldowns down, they can't contest in that particular moment. Kiane rushes forward, and Vicblade finds a slow shot to the top side. Chikara Clinkers 1 goal away from staying alive.
1 goal, or 2 barriers, 1 goal. That's all they need.
And
Doesn't need to happen right now. It can happen the next point. They're looking a little comfy right now, especially with all that energy advantage they have currently.
And speaking of energy advantage, Kiane hasn't flipped in so long. Like, it might be the flip discipline, it might be the most disciplined flipper of all time, and sometimes it's to their downfall, but right now, keeping that resource on hand is so important for the defense here. It's looking like an iron wall on the side of Chikara Clinkers, while Vicblade is just pushing forward.
As long as one person has a flip, it's a threat. It's basically impossible for a goalie to push up. Can't ever have too much open because that fast core speed of the flip.
Ooh, and a perfect hook by Vicblade in the perfect moment while everyone was distracted on the bottom side. Chikara Clinkers take 1 draft here. They take a set, and do you think that this is the scaling they need in this draft?
I think very much. I mean, I think last draft especially. But however, we might be taking a look at Mayor of Sparkington Atlas. We'll have to see if that manages to get through towards the middle of the draft.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be let through. I think it'll be denied away by Kiane, but if they go for something else, they go for Timeless Creator, Spark of Focus. That's huge for Too Soon. That is
It's like we're getting
a crazy
triple
build.
spark. Is the last spark still available?
I'm not completely sure, but I think it is. That's incredibly huge here, and Knight also picks up a prize fighter as well, and Lalace gets dash range. Although there's some good picks for Chikara Clinkers, I think Seraphim Oxblood very happy with that draft.
Looks like Knight's getting back into the swing of it, getting those KOs that we've been missing for quite a while now.
Yeah, and with the prize fighter, we'll be much better at getting them as well. And Vicblade with a knife's edge and additional size does have a lot of speed to play with, but if Vicblade is just staying in that range, that's the target for Knight, the dash punch. Looking for it right now. Knight is hunting.
You know what they say about predators? They hunt at night.
It is night markets, and Knight is always at night if you think about it, so we'll have to see how it goes. A lot of damage onto Vicblade, a KO found. That's 3 prize fighter stacks already in the very first point of this set. Knight has snowballed this game completely. This could just be it.
Not to mention the egoist proc, definitely making everything scary, and another KO.
And the crossfire from the slimes as well. If the point goes long, they have the insurance of the hotshot Juno. Good clear by Vicblade, but all 1 shot is all it takes here. Too Soon, flicking it forward, and Kiane strikes it backwards. Oh no, not the misinput you want to see as Seraphim Oxblood goes up 1-0.
Yeah, one thing I'm definitely taking note of is how Knight is very much using that flip for damage and KOs. And anytime it can convert into KOs, Knight is making sure to take full advantage.
Yeah, and with no meter on Swift Beating Vicblade, they need to play so careful because Knight will dash punch them without an evade up and even with an evade up, but especially without an evade up. If Vicblade's Unstoppable gets removed like it does here, they're in trouble, but they do find one barrier. They might have a chance here. It's still looking dangerous though, as oh no, you can't be doing that so near the edge. That's Swift Deity going down.
It was actually the Unstoppable that allowed Julie to get so close to the Asher during the ult.
Yeah, really just pushed up there, and Knight once again pushing up. Perfect Flame Flurry. Q&A can't quite get the strike in time, and Seraphim Moxblood, a little bit shaky in the previous set, but this set's looking to be theirs in dominant fashion.
I say if Knight can keep up those KOs, this win is a surefire victory.
Yeah, and of course, Lalace as well, right? Has such a strong build, has so much core speed. If Lalace just plays patient and sends out the slimes at good angles, that could be devastating. And Swift Deity picked the Pumwar's Vice, but these KOs are just famine. They're barely so close to killing Lalace, but not quite, and close is not enough in a game like this. The core speed, amazing strike shot by Q&A to not lose the barrier, but they're still in a lot of trouble. Vicblade now pushing forward, but a good primary by Too Soon, who is standing forward. The dash punch flip by Knight. A power play for the millionth time as Knight walks forward with the core. Once again, Supernova to block it for a second, but it's only a moment as Lalace's slimes are charged up. The core speed going to come in just a little moment here. And Knight's also looking for a KO if Vicblade's Unstoppable is removed. Blink forward, jump forward from Lalace, trying to find an opening as Swift Deity as well is in a lot of trouble. But that foot's almost built up, and that could be a scoring opportunity for Seraphim Moxblood. But these slimes are going a little crazy with the core speed. It's overtime, and Lalace is going to take over.
Oh, looks like Vic has almost managed to get the KO in, the goal in, but Atlas managed to save it.
Yeah, it's still a tough spot, even with the flip up for Swift Deity, because Lalace is just controlling the core all over. Too Soon in the open net, a really nice clear to get it around the hook. A flip blocked away by the Expanse, and Q&A can't catch the core speed in time. Lalace, flip available. A flip pass could do it here. The hot shot, the flip in the middle, but blocked away by the Path Splitter. Swift Deity hits on the way. That time, the hot shot didn't mess Too Soon up. In a lot of trouble is Too Soon, though, as that disappears, but a missed strike from Vicblade means another chance for this Atlas, but Vicblade doesn't miss the second time and keep Chikara Clinkers alive, but they're still on the edge.
I think one thing I've noticed is once they Clinkers is able to get both the barriers down, that's putting a lot more pressure on the Oxblood. And Knight gets the KO right again.
14 KO streak, and that time there was no meter for Swift Deity to evade with. Knight pushing forward, hooked away for the moment, but Lalace has a lot of core speed to work with still. It is the Juno, but Swift Deity has the snipe perfectly played, and with Q&A having flip, a big opportunity, but the barrier goes down. They're in so much trouble if they can let this one through. Lalace has the jump, has the strikes, but not quite winning the strike war as Vicblade tries to go for a push forward, goes for the dribble, bottom side, good clear by Too Soon as the slimes converge. Knight looking for an opening, looking for a shot. The flip is good, and Q&A follows up to make sure that Knight can't get it for the moment. A good pull as well, and Vicblade now scoring chance. Expanse blocks twice. Expanse blocks. Oh, Swift Deity, exactly when necessary, finds a double KO. The Pumwar's Vice finally comes online, and Chikara Clinkers somehow score 2 points in a row.
On the edge of my seat right now. Like this game is can go either way. Every point is just a cliffhanger.
It really is, depending on the KOs, depending on the individual moments. This game can swing so quickly. It looked impossible, and maybe it is impossible because that brawler has just been taken off the field, went for the pendulum swing, got caught by Knight. It is Knight's market, and they are one goal away from qualifying for the OSAS finale and eliminating Chikara Clinkers from this week. Going for the second barrier here as Too Soon pushes up as well. Swift Deity stays alive though, and that might be a little bit of overcommitment from Knight as Swift Deity has to flip now, and the barrier is defended by Q&A. So many cooldowns on that Asher to play with, and the barrier goes down Too Soon. Uh-oh, in a lot of trouble because Vicblade is approaching, and a KO found. Knight's kill streak has been deleted here. Like, Knight's kill streak has been ended, and maybe this game is going to a final set, but Q&A pushes up too far, and Lalace could be scoring here. It's an open net.
The net, it's core flip on the goalie.
Oh,
Oh!
too soon. Flips up, and Big Blade has the read. The soul read at the perfect moment to bring it to a set 5 somehow. It seemed impossible, but Chikara Clinkers have brought the game back to even.
Do you think it's possible? Do you think we will be able to see the 4 Sparks come all together?
Okay, but low key, I think giving Spark was correct there. I think taking Rapid Fire was better for Kiane.
Oh my goodness, can you imagine Rapid Fire Hot Shot Primetime Asher?
Yeah, I think Rapid Fire was better there because it's the goalie getting 4 Sparks. Like, I'm pretty sure that's what you take there. And because the Rapid Fire fell down, Lalace has Hot Shot Rapid Fire. This is scary. Catalyst Egoist on Knight. Did they just
Oh my
fumble this draft?
Oh my goodness, this is a crazy draft.
Yeah, I think they fumbled
No.
the draft. Uh-oh. Because Missile Prop is better on Too Soon anyway, high key. Like, I think Seraphim Moxblood are in a really good spot to take this one. They have all the power they need, and Knight's going to have so many flips.
Oh, and you can see already how much further that Atlas primary reaches. Able to put a lot more pressure up, even just from the safety of the net.
Yeah, I think the mayor was a bait. Too Soon was not running in the election. Too Soon was going for the military industrial complex and is launching these primaries across the map.
I mean, that's part of the nice thing about going for Sparks is not only are they strong in of itself, but just their presence alone makes people want to deny you, and it allows you to opens up opportunities to grab other really good awakenings.
Oh, and a dash punch flip. We saw that earlier. Knight does it again. The bounce is perfect for Too Soon, right into the hands of the Atlas, and the core speed is picking up as well. Knight wins the strike war against 2. The punch not even necessary, and they're 1 goal away. Seraphim Moxblood. So close.
I think one of the scariest things as a forward is to realize that your goalie has died. You have to go back, and now you have to play that position that you're not as comfortable with. But immediately Vix getting the double barrier. However, Knight just again gets the KO, non-stop KOs.
And it's just getting Flame Flurry after Flame Flurry. So much energy. Kiane finds a good strike, but dashes into Knight, expecting a pass. Well played by Seraphim Moxblood. Well drafted by Seraphim Moxblood as they take the victory.
I don't think I could have asked for a better game, though. That last draft might have been rough, but it was a very close game nonetheless.
Yeah, that was well played. So much control by the Hotshot Juno. I think that's why it's probably a good idea to ban Juno on Hotshot start. Lalace
Agreed.
had a field day, but Knight, 17 KOs, completely controlled Night Market.
Yeah. Well, you can see the 70 KOs and the 250 redirects on the Juno, as well as 130 shots. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
I think that's the most amount of shots I've ever seen in that game.
yeah, looking quite ridiculous. Seraphim Moxblood qualifying for the finale here. As that is it for this week of OSAS. Thank you everyone for watching. And anything you want to say, Tiger, before we disappear?
I would just like to say thank you for having me on. This has been a fun time, and I hope everyone else has just if you're looking to get into OSAS, please do it. It's fun. Playing this game with friends makes it so much more fun, and just try playing some comp together. You won't regret it.
Yep. And if you're in solo queue and you want free LP, lock in Atlas Goalie, LP Printer, free Pro League. Anyway, goodbye everyone.